June 17th. If you'll join us in the Pledge of Allegiance if you'd like to. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. We need to start with a roll call. Ms. Cox, will you help us with that?
Councilman Lind has been excused tonight, but we have a quorum.
Excellent, thank you. We have an agenda before us. Any changes we need to consider to that agenda? I guess maybe I'll point out a quick thing. Maybe this is the time to do it before we approve the agenda. I do believe in our consent agenda, the street closure permit requested by Travis Wilson, it shows an address on it says an address on Uinta Street, and then right below it is a same or similar request from Stephen Coons on Summit Street. I believe we have those streets mixed. I think that Mr. Wilson is on Summit Street and Mr. Coons is on Uinta.
That's correct. The requests are right.
The request on the maps that they have are right, but just on the agenda, I think we got them transposed.
With those changes, Your Honor, our motion to accept the agenda.
Thank you, Mr. Welling. Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Schmidt seconding. Is there any discussion? If there is none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Are there any opposed? That is approved. Thank you. We have the council minutes for June 3rd and the work session minutes for June 10th. Any concerns regarding those minutes? If not, we will acknowledge those as they've been prepared, and we will go to the bills. Go to warrant register with today's date on it. Questions, comments, concerns, any of that kind of thing?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Mr. Perks with a motion. Is there a second?
Second it, Your Honor.
Mr. Schmidt, seconding. Thank you. Any discussion? If there's no discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Are there any opposed? That takes care of the bills. Council comments. Mr. Schmidt, what do you have for us tonight, sir?
I'd just like to thank the staff for their helping me through this first budget session and all the time that they put in trying to make me understand what some of the figures are and where they go. So thank you to everybody for that help. And I'd also like to thank Damon. I spent some time with him after the last meeting and explaining some of the on the green spaces and how they work and so on how we come up with whether it's going to be a park or we take in funds or whatever. So I appreciate his time. So thank you.
Thanks.
That's it, sir.
Mr. Perks.
I was going to acknowledge the same thing, thanks to the department heads and Trudy. I know that's a lot of work for you guys. It makes us look like geniuses, but it's really you guys. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Welling.
Just echoing those comments, it's I don't know how many years I've been doing this, but I understand it more and more every year. So, and this is making it easier for us, so we appreciate it. I don't know if it's more work for you, but it's making it better for us. That's all.
Mr. Sellers.
So we're coming up on the longest day of the year, and winter comes fast, so make sure you're enjoying the summer. I want to thank Kim and crew for the good job they did of putting on the gala, and it was a good time for those who were there. Also, I'd like to just thank for our parks in our city, having a grandbaby now that I take around to the parks and stuff. It's really nice that we have the parks that we do. And lastly, I know it's a county thing, but I just want to wish Lori Perkins well in her retirement. So that's what I have.
Thank you. Ms. Hickman?
Echo the sentiments on the staff preparing for the budget. Trudy is an absolute legend. So what she goes through is putting these numbers together for us is a Herculean task, and it is greatly appreciated by all of us, and especially me. I truly appreciate it. It really streamlines and clears things up for us sitting up here. And the other thing is with the events, happening in the Middle East and our troops, sorry, my son is, sorry. With all the things happening in the Middle East and things heating up over there and our troops moving around and on standby and getting ready to deploy or already deployed over there, I hope everybody keeps them in their hearts and minds. And you can see from this mom sitting up here, it is a very hard time when tensions are this high, and not knowing is the absolute worst. So if you know somebody who's serving anywhere, reach out and keep them in your hearts, because as you can see, because I can't keep my composure, it is a difficult thing.
Thank you. We thank you for his service. We thank him for his service. Thank you. I'll echo the same thing. I suspect I know that we're talking about a resolution here to come, and there'll be some discussion in that, and I'll have some more comments as I do every year when the budget year comes around, the budget process comes around. But I too am appreciative of the work of the Treasurer's Office and the department altogether, and I'm appreciative of the departments and the department heads and the frugality that they always demonstrate when talking about city funds and all that. But we'll have some more on that but later. But I'll keep it brief then too. And so we will move on. We do have a public hearing to conduct. Mr. Harris, I suspect you'll be our hearing officer.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. My name is Mark Harris. I'm the Evanston City Attorney. I'll be conducting the hearing tonight. The purpose of the hearing is for the City Council to hear and receive public input, comments, and concerns regarding adoption of the budget for the city for the year ending June 30, 2026. Notice of the hearing has been published in a newspaper of local circulation as required by law and will be included in the record of proceedings of the council. Anyone present who wishes to speak to the council regarding the proposed budget for 2025-2026 should approach the podium, state your name and mailing address, and present your comments and concerns. No one will be cross-examined, but all of those who approach the podium may be asked questions by members of the council. Please limit your comments to no longer than 5 minutes. The council will first hear from the City Treasurer, Trudy Lim, who will provide a basic overview and explanation of the proposed budget for 2025-2026. Thereafter, the council will hear from members of the public. Ms. Lim, go ahead.
Mayor Williams, City Council members, and citizens of Evanston, this evening the governing body will vote on a proposed budget for fiscal year ending June 30th, 2026. Department administrators have submitted their budget requests, which have been thoroughly reviewed by City Council members, and a public hearing notice was published in the Uintah County Herald on Wednesday, June 4th, 2025. The City of Evanston's budget serves as a financial roadmap outlining estimated revenues and anticipated expenditures, with city employees delivering services in an efficient and cost-effective manner. The budget is organized into 5 funds: general, water, wastewater, environmental services, and golf fund. Additionally, there are special funds, including cemetery, lodging tax, and economic development. The general fund is supported by various taxes and fees, with sales tax being the largest revenue source. Sales tax collection has fluctuated over this past year At one point, we saw a decline of approximately 37%, but then later an increase of 20%. So due to the unpredictability of the sales tax, we continue to adopt a conservative budget approach. The enterprise funds, which is water, wastewater, and environmental services, are funded through user fees. There are no fee increases planned for these funds in the upcoming fiscal year. The golf fund reflects fee increases that were implemented earlier this golfing season. We continue to actively pursue grants to support capital projects and are carefully managing reserves to fund essential repairs and improvements. Several major projects from the prior fiscal year will move forward at the department head's request, including the city master plan update, facility repairs such as the recreation center roof and the roundhouse roof, elevator upgrades at the police department and the recreation center, acquisition of police and other city vehicles and equipment, construction of the Twin Ridge water transmission line, the Grass Valley lift station, and other water and wastewater system upgrades and maintenance. New projects dependent on revenue availability include a TAP grant application for sidewalk improvements near Aspen Elementary, a downtown sound system upgrade and Sternberg light topper retrofit, refinishing of the machine shop floor and air conditioning in the building, Bear River Bridge repairs, overlay of the Ponds Access Road and Cemetery Roads, the Ehill water tank roofing and other water plant improvements, continued work on the city ditch study, and the golf course tee box renovations and installation of a new range ball dispenser. Personnel costs represent a significant portion of the city's budget. Health insurance premiums increased by 3% this year. The city pays 91.8% of the premiums, with employees contributing 8.2%. The city will continue to fully contribute the specified percentages to the Wyoming retirement system. Following the recent implementation of wage adjustments from the salary study, no cost of living increases are planned. This may be reconsidered contingent upon revenue performance. The total proposed budget for fiscal year 25-26 is $37,571,855. This represents approximately a 3% decrease from last year. This total includes all the funds, personnel expenses, and proposed capital projects. Preparing the budget is a complex and evolving process, and I want to thank the department heads, the employees, the mayor, and the city council for all their valuable input and support in developing this financial plan.
Thank you, Trudy. Any questions for the treasurer at this point?
I think I'm good. Thank you, Trudy.
Is there anyone who would like to provide comment on the proposed budget? Please approach the podium, state your name and mailing address, and if you can, speak directly into the microphone.
My name is Shelley Horner, 31 Park Road, Evanston. I hate to say this, but the sound in this room is absolutely terrible. I can hardly hear a word that's spoken. I don't know who got a hold of the volume control, but older people would certainly like to have it turned up a little bit. If I have missed something, I apologize. Is the budget detail published somewhere?
It's on the website.
What?
It's on the city's website, Shelley.
Oh, on the city's website.
I believe so. Is that right? Once it is approved. Yeah, once it's been approved, yes, it'll be on the website. Yes, sir.
Okay, so at this point in time, there isn't anything that I could have reviewed to see what was in it?
Go ahead and...
We've had previous meetings where we discussed the budget.
This has been an ongoing discussion.
That's all right. I have only one question, and that is, the 30-some odd thousand dollars that was in the budget last year for the footings on the water tank at Wasatch, is that in or out of the budget?
I don't believe so. I don't think it's in the budget right now. We'd have to, that's not a capital project. That would be something that we would have to consider from another angle, I guess, since it's not a capital project brought on by any of the departments. If something like that were to, we would consider or have to consider a budget amendment or something like that. Yes, sir?
It makes it a little bit difficult for the people who are trying to get the water tank moved to know whether or not we have the financial support of the city and the council. So when would we be able to know whether or not that's something you're going to do?
That's a good question. I don't know if I have an answer for you right now. Honestly, those discussions have kind of waned in the last few months. We've not talked about it too much. I do know that, or I believe anyway, that there was some quotes or proposals provided to the group, to your group, relative to the cost of the moving of the tower in general. I don't know where that's at. I didn't see those specific quotes. So I don't know, I don't know exactly where that's at, and the discussions have not been held for the last few months. So I don't really know where that's at. If you guys want to talk about that some more, we probably ought to get together and have that discussion.
Yeah, I think that's an excellent idea. The communication needs to be improved somewhat, but we've been frustrated, I would say, because we have been trying to get some engineering help. And we talked to the president of the University of Wyoming when he was here about trying to get some students and professors to have a look at our project and to give us some help. And we've been totally frustrated not being able to get anything from them to this point. At this point, we have decided that we are going to have to find an engineer and pay him whatever he needs to be paid to do the work that you want us to do, to answer the engineering questions that you have asked, and then to engineer those footings so that then we can get a specific quote of exactly what the cost of those footings is going to be. So that's where we are. We're now seeking openly an engineer who can help us with this project. So if we need to talk about it, I'm perfectly willing to get with you at any time you'd like.
Let's do that.
Okay.
Anyone else?
Mike Slaughter, 912 Main Street. This is quite a complex budget, and I appreciate the time you guys spent on it and the department heads in participating. There's things I don't like in it, but there's things I do like in it. So I recognize you can't have everything. But I do want to point out, I appreciate the fact that we have, and you've maintained the community grants, and you've maintained the human services aspect of the budget, and I think that's extremely important. Also, to take my hats off the fact that you were willing to give $100,000 to the community, the county senior citizens. I think that's extremely important. I'm afraid we're going to be in dire times. I think we're going to see our federal government fail us in the community. We're going to see our state government fail us. That means that we're going to have to be really on our toes to see what gaps that we might be able to help with our community. But at any rate, I appreciate the budget. I appreciate those things that are in the budget. Thank you.
Anybody else? Anyone else? Oh, yeah, and all done. Mr. Mayor, does the council have any questions?
I have none.
No, sir.
That being said, the hearing in this matter will be closed.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
We will move on to our consent agenda. We've got several items there, fairly lengthy list of consent agenda items. All looks like to be relative to the, well, I guess there's one Cowboy Days, but most of them are geared around the 4th of July holiday. Is anybody, if everybody comfortable with keeping those together, or
Yeah, I think we should keep them together.
if we're okay with that?
I'm okay with it.
I'll just entertain a motion to approve our consent agenda.
I'll introduce with a motion to pass.
Mr. Sellers making a motion. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Mr. Welling seconding. Discussion.
I'm sure this has gone through the process, and I'm probably just making a statement, but it's all been reviewed by the fire and the police for safety and workarounds for traffic if there's emergencies. That would be my only question, so.
Mr. Mayor.
Please.
Sellers, that's correct.
Excellent, thank you, Chief. I also see Mr. Robinson came in, he sent me a text, thought he might be a little bit late, but also had expressed some, I won't say necessarily support, but relatively a lack of concern for the several requests, so if that's a way to put that, so.
Your Honor,
Yes, sir.
I'd just like to talk to Eric Passanelli, because I've been to the Strand since the remodel, and perfect.
Thank you.
It was so good. What are your,
Quite done, but-
what are your plans here?
For our grand opening?
Yeah.
I mean, pending approval, we're going to have blow-up bounce houses and dunk tanks and things in the street. We're also inviting the businesses along the block to come out and have a carnival game with some prizes provided by us, and, you know, just get a lot of people downtown and give away some popcorn, some soda, some tours of the Strand.
Perfect.
Excellent.
And great job on, man, my wife didn't like the show because it was Mission Impossible, but she wants to go back now because she knows he's not going to die. So we're good.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any further discussion? If there is none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Are there any opposed? That approves our consent agenda, and we hope all of those different activities are successful. We do have some unfinished business there. Ordinance 2504. Mr. Harris, please.
Thank you, Mayor. Ordinance 2504 is an ordinance of the City of Evanston, Wyoming, amending Section 24-71A, the Code of the City of Evanston, Wyoming, relating to sign permit fees and providing for setting of sign permit fees by resolution adopted by the Evanston City Council. This ordinance, is on second reading.
Thank you, sir. There's been no change in the language of the ordinance from the original first reading, I didn't see.
Correct, Mayor. No changes.
And this is just simply making it so that we can manage these fees by resolution rather than by ordinance. Makes it a little streamlined, a little for us and for Public Works and everybody all together. So I'll entertain a motion to approve ordinance 2504 on second reading.
I'll make that motion, Your Honor.
Schmidt, second. Mr. Perks seconding. Mr. Schmidt with the motion. Any discussion? Discussion?
Nope.
If there is none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Are there any opposed? That is approved on second reading. And we will go to new business. Then we'll start there with ordinance 2505. Mr. Harrison, once again, please.
Thank you, Mayor. Ordinance 2505 is an ordinance approving and authorizing the final plat for the Revolution Edition located in the city of Evanston, Wyoming, being more particularly described herein. Ordinance 2505 is sponsored by Councilor Schmidt.
Mr. Jacobson.
Yes.
Okay. Shane Francis, he's the owner and developer of this property. He is proposing to create a 5-lot subdivision of this property shown here. It's located just between Constitution Avenue and the Purple Sage Municipal Golf Course, and just south of Kindler Drive, the entrance to the golf course. So the area in question, it totaled 6.92 acres. This is the 5-lot subdivision that's being proposed, and I do have a much better colored version to pick out what's going on there. So this property is zoned low-density residential developing. There's not a minimum lot size requirement for that zone. It's based upon usable open space, so a minimum of 5,000 square feet of usable open space is required for each lot. These lots 1 through 4, are over, well over an acre in size. Lot 5 is just under an acre in size. Now, lots 1 through 4, the developer is proposing to sell those for single-family detached dwellings. Lot 5 is being proposed for possibly a multi-family development. That we haven't seen plans, but that's kind of the direction he's looking at.
I didn't know he could move that fast.
Thought a cow got out or something.
It's fast.
So in the LRD zone, zoning district, a multifamily dwelling is a permitted use as part of a planned unit development. So if he decides to go in that direction, a planned unit development is reviewed by both the Planning Commission and the City Council, so there will be some public input for the development if he decides to pursue that. Otherwise, he might change his mind, do a single-family detached dwelling as well on that lot. Okay, there is access to all of these lots. Lots 1 through 4 are accessed off of Rebel Drive and Revolution Avenue. There is a connecting private street that's proposed. Concourse Drive will be a new street. The pavement width is 24 feet in width. There will not be curb and gutter with this street cross-section, and sidewalk is not proposed along this street section as well, so just an asphalt surface. We do have a note provided on the plat that there will be no parking allowed on the street to allow access for emergency vehicles to pass through. We have discussed with staff, Public Works. They will be able to provide services to these lots through the private road if it's properly maintained as a pass-through between Revolution and Rebel Drive. Lot 5, as you can see, is accessed off of Constitution Avenue. Being a private road, the surface of that road, or a cross-sectional surface of that road, if there are any repairs that are needed for utilities within that area, and I'll get to that in a minute with the water and sewer main, the city, the responsibility of those repairs will fall upon the property owners within the subdivision. So we will address that a little bit more with the subdivision agreement that you will receive on third reading of the subdivision. Get that back. I believe I've included an aerial photograph so you can see. As you can see, the subdivision that was approved in the early 80s did not finish the improvements of Revolution Avenue to the north. And the developer, as part of this subdivision proposal. He is going to install those improvements so that there's access to a city street to his subdivision. There is also a small portion of asphalt that will be installed at the north terminus end of Rebel Drive, connecting to his private road system. I'm going to go back to the plat. Talk a little bit about utilities. So, as I mentioned, there are city water and sewer mains that are proposed. There's a city sewer main that will extend from just north of, within the Concourse Drive access utility easement, will extend to the west and down Revolution Avenue, connecting into the city's sewer system. That's going to be maintained by the city. That's the driver that pushes this into a major subdivision review, because there are extensions of public infrastructure proposed. Included with that public infrastructure will be a looped road, or looped water main between Rebel Drive and Revolution Avenue that will provide a much better service connection rather than having a dead-end connection with our city water main. There is a fire hydrant that's proposed at the, let's see if I remember correctly, fire hydrant and a street light proposed at the southeast corner of Lot 3. Let's see, I don't think I have, I'll just kind of point that out here. In this area here. DEQ has reviewed the subdivision and has given their approvals as well on this. See, there has been a grading and stormwater drainage plan that's been submitted to the city. It's been reviewed by the city engineer. There is surface runoff within the pink lines that you can see going vertical along lots 1, 2, 3, and 4. And that provides some drainage easements, and then that green 30-foot wide drainage easement that's located along the north side of the subdivision will also direct water to the cities, eventually connecting into the city system. The developer will need to address mailboxes for this development. As of yet, we don't know if additional mailboxes are needed within the area, if there's any excess mailboxes open, or if they will need to install a new one. But they will be looking into that. Just talk about a little bit about the easements to kind of wrap this up. There are some existing easements that are carrying over. The easements that are showing in red are easements, existing easements for the power company that continue on to this subdivision proposal. There's also an existing easement in the left side of the screen, kind of showing in a blue shade. That is an existing easement grant for a road right-of-way for Constitution Avenue. The rest of the easements showing in green, the 30-foot wide drainage easement along the north side, the pink easements showing on the plat, those are all utility, 10-foot wide utility and drainage easements. There is an easement showing along the south side of Lot 4 that's specifically just for a 10-foot utility easement and not a drainage easement. Those are the proposed easements with the subdivision. Being a major subdivision, there is a public land dedication requirement or a cash in lieu requirement. So 5% of the total land area within the subdivision dedicated for public use requirement, or, like I said, 11% cash in lieu. And that will be a decision the Ag Council will need to discuss. I believe it will also be included within the subdivision agreement. The City Subdivision Review Committee has reviewed the subdivision proposal, and that this represents their wishes for the easements within the subdivision. The Planning Commission has not yet reviewed the final plat. They will be reviewing that at their July 7th meeting, just prior to third reading of this ordinance. So you'll get their recommendation upon third reading. And staff recommends approval out of that blank screen, that subdivision.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Jacobson. We have a sponsor. I'll entertain a motion to approve ordinance 2505 on first reading.
I'll make that motion, Your Honor.
Welling, is there a second?
I'll second it, Your Honor.
Mr. Perks, seconded. Discussion.
I have just one question, maybe two. What's the maximum number of units that they can build on Lot 5 if they choose to do multifamily? Do we have an idea yet of?
We don't. We don't have a development proposal. We'll know when they submit that as part of like I said, either a planned unit development. They may propose a change in zoning, possibly for the property to allow a little bit higher densities. If they change to a medium density residential developing or a high density residential developing, the open space requirement goes from 3,000 square feet to 2,000 square feet respectively for those two zoning districts. But yeah, right now, we don't know how many units they'll be able to get in there. As it is presently zoned, yeah, not too many. They would need 5,000 square feet of open space per dwelling unit. And yeah, right now the lot size is just a little over 40,000 square feet in size.
You say that the engineers have reviewed the plans and so on, so does this development have any effect on our water and sewer lines or our sewer systems where they have to be upgraded or enlarged or anything that, or are they sufficient? I'm assuming they're sufficient for that.
Yeah, that's something that the city engineer has reviewed. DEQ has also reviewed those extensions of city water and sewer mains. What we have there is adequate for this development.
Any further discussion? I think it's worthy of note from my perspective, these are big lots, and that goes to Mr. Francis's credit of what he's proposing to do that. These are especially as it relates to city lot sizing. These are big lots. There's no really way to cut that down. I mean, that's his decision. Obviously, he owns the property. I think it's great. So I applaud him for the big lots. Further discussion. We have a motion and a second. I'll call for the vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Are there any opposed? That is approved on first reading. Thank you, Mr. Jacobson.
Thank you.
Resolution 2525. Mr. Harris, will you read that title for us, please?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Resolution 25-25 is a resolution of the City of Evanston, Wyoming, providing income necessary to finance the budget and provide for and authorize annual appropriation of funds for fiscal year ending June 30, 2026.
Thank you, sir. Is there any questions or other? This is obviously relative to our public hearing at the beginning of the meeting. This is where the rubber meets the road, I guess, as far as the decision goes. Is there any questions or comments here? I'll put it on the table, and is there an introduction on this resolution?
I'll introduce with the motion to pass.
Mr. Sellers with a motion. Is there a second?
I'll second it, Your Honor.
Mr. Schmidt seconding. Discussion.
Thank you. I know I've been up in your office several times, but I appreciate it.
And I will just add to that, as I kind of alluded to at the beginning, this is a big project, a big process each and every year. And once again, and I think we've said it, but it's worthy of mentioning once again, the budget that we set here today isn't the money that or the list of things that we will spend money on. It is the list of things that we will be willing to spend money on should we have the resources when the time comes to actually make the expenditures. We have, and I've been pretty proud of it. This is a lot of money, there's no question. The city budgets are a frightening thing. I'm not a wealthy man, so these are numbers that are beyond my comprehension in very real terms. But I have appreciated the frugality, as I mentioned before, of our city staff, our city departments, and they find ways to save money, they spend money wisely, and I appreciate that very much. With that in mind, I do think it's worthy to note also that over the last 10 years or so, we have been able to put a little bit every year back in some reserves, sometimes more than others, not as much maybe as we would like to, but I think what that shows is that we do our best to live within our means as a community, and that's something that I'm personally pretty proud of. But so I appreciate this process, but it is a lengthy process and a difficult one, and I applaud everybody involved, Trudy, especially you and all of the department heads who go into trying to find ways to save the city some money and make the best uses of the resources that we have as a community. So, any further discussion? If there is none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Are there any opposed? That is approved. Thank you, Trudy. Resolution 2526. Mr. Harris, read that title for us, please.
Thank you, Mayor. Resolution 2526 is a resolution approving the proposition for imposition of a 1% special purpose excise tax in Uintah County, state of Wyoming. Said proposition to be placed on the special election ballot on November 4, 2025.
Thank you, sir. Ms. Larson.
Mayor, Council, Kim Larson, Evanston Parks and Rec. I like what you said, Mayor Williams. This is kind of the rubber hitting the road. Passing a resolution to get this on a ballot on November 4th, 2025 at a special election. This resolution will also jointly be approved by the town of Bear River, the town of Lyman, the town of Mountain View, and the county commissioners. The joint resolution is what is needed to put it on the ballot in November.
Excellent. Thank you. Let's get this on the table, so if there's any discussion, we can have that discussion. Is there an introduction on this resolution?
I'll introduce the motion to pass.
Mr. Welling with a motion. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Mr. Sellers seconding. Discussion. But I don't want to belabor the issue, but this is just as you said, this is not a decision, this is not imposing a tax at this point, this is just simply putting a tax or a decision to institute act on a ballot that the communities that you mentioned,
Correct.
We as a county as a whole.
County as a whole will vote yes or no.
And go from there.
Yep.
So this is putting a decision out to the communities and to the county to see if this is something that we would like to do as a community. I support the effort myself. So,
Yeah.
further discussion.
Yeah, I think it's important that we put this out so the voters can decide.
Exactly.
Because seems to be a hot topic.
Yeah.
There in the county. So this way the county citizens can decide, and we're not imposing our will on them. I think it's where it needs to go.
Yeah. And believe me, as director, I wish I was just directing and not facing this decision of not having a community pool, but it is coming to that. Pool or no pool, and this is way to create funds to be able to build one. So.
And So once these projects are done, the tax goes away?
The tax goes away.
Right.
It's Wyoming statute, the tax goes away once we hit these different projects. So,
Mr. Mayor?
Yes, sir.
The resolution, which we want to thank Ms. Callis and Uinta County for drafting and getting out to all the municipalities, the resolution estimates that based upon past history of excise tax, sales tax collections, and it states in the resolution, it's expected that the total of $40,605,209 would be generated in 6 years.
6? Mm-hmm. Thank you, sir. And thank you for reminding around Ms. Callis's input. That is valuable.
yeah, she's been wonderful. The county commissioners have been great to work with.
And I think, are we the last one to vote?
Mountain View has their meeting tonight as well. Otherwise, everyone else has passed the resolution. And there is Amanda thought it would be great to have everyone sign the original, Mr. Mayor, so if we could have
Gotcha.
you and Diane is on there. What Amanda wants, Amanda gets.
Hey,
so.
absolutely. Don't argue with Amanda.
Lose.
Any further discussion? If there is none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Are there any opposed? That is approved. Thank you.
Thanks you guys for supporting Parks and Recreation in our community. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Resolution 2527. Mr. Harris, please.
Thank you, Mayor. Resolution 2527 is a resolution of the City of Evanston authorizing the submission of an application for federal funding through the Transportation Alternatives Program administered by the Wyoming Department of Transportation for the purposes of the Evanston Pedestrian Sidewalk Improvement Project, design only.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Newsom.
Good evening. First, thank you for approving the budget. Much appreciated. Within that budget, there was a project, a capital project, that was sidewalk improvements. And those sidewalk improvements are proposed around the Aspen area. The main focus was to get sidewalk up South Ridge Road, up to Saddle Ridge Road to the rec center. Currently, sidewalk doesn't exist. For those who live in that area, it's not uncommon to see people walking in the road, up the hill. It's still around a school, which we did good work on a Safe Routes to School project in 2019. Put in sidewalk in the area. This will help expand that connection to where it's basically a connected system to that general area. So ultimately, what this is asking for is in an effort to give the application to YDOT, I need a resolution from the council that they support this application submittal. The submittal itself will then be vetted. I won't know its outcome until late this fall, but it's a step as part of the application process.
Excellent. Thank you. Is there an introduction on this resolution?
I'll introduce with a motion to pass, Your Honor. That's a good program.
It is. The one caveat that they have changed with this is you used to be able to ask for the monies to do design and construction. They've since changed that to where you have to ask for the design component first and then reapply based upon what the forecasted cost is under another application. So hopefully next year I'll be asking the same thing to actually put the project to work. This is for the design component only.
Exactly.
So I've had several constituents in that area take me around and show me their concerns about not having sidewalk there. So I think it's going to meet some people's really personal needs to do that. When the kids go from the school over to the rec center and different things, there's just a lot of good things about it.
Yeah, it's always been in even our 2010 master plan as a pathway network, and now I'm trying to just make it come to truth. But again, the main focus when I started thinking about this was to get that connection from 150 up to the rec center, and then it's like, well, let's do some more stuff around the Broken Circle area, the easterly side of Broken Circle, and at least at this point, if I don't ask for it in the application, then I can't design for it. And so at this point, let's start asking for what we might be able to do. Let the design happen.
Excellent. Thank you. I have a motion. Mr. Sellers, did I hear you seconding that motion? Or
Yes.
You did?
Yes.
Mr. Sellers seconding. Any further discussion? If there's no discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Are there any opposed? Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Newsom, well, we got any more from the planning department, engineering department? We're into the department comments now. Anything more from you, sir?
Nothing significant. It's summertime. The chaos has started. Building permits, all the building activities. Tentatively, right after the 4th of July holiday, our overlay project kicks off throughout the community. I'll say most of July or a portion of July is when they'll be doing the overlay project. So patience, but they'll come in and get it done and have a good product for us.
Excellent. Thank you.
Thank you.
Ms. Lim, have anything more for us tonight?
Again, thank you to all of you, the department heads and the treasurer's department staff for all the help in the budget. Thank you for passing it out.
Thank you. Mr. O'Neill, anything from you, sir?
Nothing, John.
Ms. Larson?
Thank you guys for your support, and thanks to you for holding meetings for the budget
Chief Ranish?
No, sir, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Gordon, Mr. Robinson. Or say Mr. Gordon, Mr. Robinson. Teeth probably hurt. I think you've been to the dentist, so we'll cut you some slack tonight. Ms. Cox, do you have anything for us tonight? Mr. Harris?
Nothing, sir.
Nothing. Okay, thank you all. Public participation. Is there anyone here from the public that would like to address the council for any reason tonight? Please.
Kathy Cook, 912 Main. First of all, I'd like to say Happy Father's Day to everybody who is a father around here. And also, thank you for the beautiful flowers that we have downtown. The new trees, I don't know who pays for that. Is that in our budget here that pays for the flowers?
Rocco pays for it out of his own pocket.
Rocco pays for it?
It's a combination of downtown Evanston fundraising and city funds.
Well, it looks really nice. And I have a question, and just to be clear, since I live downtown, most of my concerns are downtown. Just to be clear, the owners of the buildings are responsible for their sidewalk in front of their buildings, including watering their trees, pulling weeds around the trees, and the weeds that grow in the cracks of the building, the sidewalk, snow removal, gutter, that type of thing. Is that correct?
I believe so.
Okay. I think we need to send out a reminder, a notification to the building owners so that they know that they're responsible for watering their trees. I know we do have some guys come around and they put those green bags on, and that really helps. But there's still a lot of trees that now have weeds that are, I don't know, a foot and a half high. And if the owners knew that they were supposed to take care of their stuff, they would.
Okay.
Okay, and then I have a unrelated question here. So my question is, why do we need to have work meetings? Why can't we just have a city council meeting every week and include the work meeting with it so it can be recorded, so we can just solve some of the problems? I think some of the things that we discuss here, so like if I wanted to talk about beautification of the downtown area, I think what I have to do is schedule to be on the work meeting, and then you can discuss it. It's kind of like you can't discuss everything here, and I just don't know why you can't do it all together instead of waiting a week.
Well, The work sessions provide an opportunity for this body to look in and discuss, ask questions, contemplate without making a decision. A lot of times we need a little time to sort through whatever it is proposal that we're being presented with without the pressure, maybe is the way to say that, of having to make a decision, so that we have time to ask questions and investigate. And so that's the value of the work session, as far as I'm concerned, as far as the city council goes. And I can't speak for them, but that's from my perspective. That's the value of the work session meetings. I was going to say something else that was really good, and it fell out of my head. But that's kind of the crux of the work sessions, is to give us an opportunity to discuss, plan, think, contemplate, whatever, without having to make a decision. I guess where I was also going with this is if you will, if you have a concern and you call City Hall, talk with Mickey or Diane or whomever else that is, relative to your concern, whatever department, there's oftentimes that those concerns can be addressed and dealt with appropriately through a department head, something that way, that doesn't necessarily, can be dealt with on that level. So when you have a concern, or if you do have a concern, you have a question, if you will call City Hall, if there's a department head or a department that can help you with that concern, that's certainly the best way to go about that. If not, then it's appropriate to put or consider, ask for something like that to be put on a work session agenda, and we can discuss it further that way.
Okay. I just think sometimes it gets lost. I don't know. Does somebody keep a list? I'm a list person. I make lots of lists. I don't know. Nobody's a list.
Well, I mean,
you just remember what we talk about, and you discuss it later, because you guys don't meet together any other time.
No, and we really can't either, because we have there's some laws relative to how we can meet.
Okay, but there's no law to have a work session. I know other communities, they just have city council, and you just discuss everything at the same time.
All the city councils that I'm aware of, that I've dealt with across the state, they all have work sessions.
Do they? Okay.
And some only meet once a month, and some have it right before the meeting. But like the mayor says, something's brought up to me in a work session, I like to go out and look what they're talking about.
I see. Okay.
And dissect, see what the complaint is, because you can come in and say the weeds aren't being pulled, so I'm going to go drive downtown.
Good, okay.
And see whose weeds aren't pulled. So
Thank you.
So I can make those decisions.
I was going to add, one of the things I love about the work sessions are it's the people being able to come in and ask questions, and we're not voting on them, so we can actually direct them. Like, people from the community will have a situation or a question or a proposal, and they can come before us and we can go, thank you for coming in, but that's actually county, you need to go here, and we can direct them. That's happened in a couple of occasions, so we're able to really help the community in the work sessions as well. And then, where to put a brown cow was one of them. That was, and so there's with the work session being informal, we can really, hash things out and draw.
Well,
versus
can we have
here
it,
where we're, it's very regulated.
Okay. Can we have it videoed so people in the community can watch those instead of waiting for a week for, this?
We've not done that for work sessions. There is some expense involved in that, but I guess the thing that I would say to that is all of our meetings are open to the public. The door is always open, and I know it's a difficult thing for some to come and attend. I get that, I understand that, but it wasn't all that long ago that even this meeting wasn't broadcast. And it was, if someone wanted to be involved, it required attendance. And so it is, it is what it is, but there is some expense involved with broadcasting a work session, and right now we haven't made that decision. So.
All right. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else from the public that would like to, please?
Good evening, Mr. Mayor and City Council members. I just want to thank you for the opportunity to come and be here tonight. And I know that these are very, very challenging times. It's tough. And I just want to thank you for the work that you have done, the effort you put forth for the budget on fiscal year 2026. On behalf of all the seniors in Uintah County and Uintah Senior Citizens Incorporated, thank you so much for the support you're providing that will enable us to continue to provide nutritious meals to our seniors. We couldn't do it without community support, and we humbly thank you for all of your work and your consideration.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Anyone else? If not, we will adjourn. Thank you, everyone.